What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I'm out here getting my 10,000 steps in. I'm gonna get right to the story this time, man. There's been a situation in the Bahamas where a young man was found deceased. Dinari McAlmont. There we go. Dinari McAlmont. Definitely one of those unique names. Just 23 years old. He was found deceased on the beach like 12 hours after he got to the Bahamas. He was staying at that Atlantis resort. This is one of them hair scratchers, man. I wonder how this one's gonna play out, if the family will even get justice. He's there on vacation with his mother and father. 12 hours later, they're being notified that he has been beaten. I mean, beaten badly. Found on the beach, left there. The authorities, they're not taking it very seriously there. They are basically saying that they're looking at this as drowning, an accidental drowning, even though he was beaten. He didn't beat himself up. But there is an autopsy, but it doesn't look like they're taking this very seriously. There's some surveillance footage of him being at one of the restaurants there, and he spat on one of the waiters and apparently a couple other workers there. And that may be why they're really not taking this all that seriously. I'm not saying that he deserves to die for this, of course not. But y'all, listen, I need y'all to be careful when you go abroad. I mean, be careful anyway. The Bahamas is listed as level 2? Caution in terms of traveling because of crime. We've heard things about robbery and sexual assault. So it is listed as level 2 for travelers. So you need to be wary when you're going abroad anyway. But you especially need to be careful when it comes to your behavior. A lot of y'all, the bad behavior that you exude daily here in the USA that you've largely went unchecked for, you believe that you're gonna go other places with that same behavior. This young man was from Bowie, Maryland. And I mean, they didn't show his father. They just talked to his mom. And his mom, she's saying the usual stuff. My baby, how could I have protected my baby? And I mean, there wasn't honestly a whole lot of sympathy for the young man because people are kind of hung up on the fact that he spat on people. That's pretty disrespectful. Listen, there's not many things you can do disrespectfully that are universally considered to be disrespect, like across the world, than spitting on somebody. That is a universal. Everyone is like, hell no on that one. I don't know what would make this young man do that, why he would think that was acceptable behavior. I really wish we could have had an interview from the dad and not just the mom talking. But that's what we have. Young man from USA, Bowie, Maryland, on family vacation. They arrived there April 4th. April 5th, the young man was deceased. Just 23 years old. He didn't even have many years to wisen up. And that easily can be the case for people. Not all mistakes can be learned from. Depending on the situation, the mistake may be so grave that something happens to you to where you don't ever get to later reflect and learn from it. And this is one of those such situations. It's really tragic that, they just went on vacation. And the mom, she sounded like she was trying to cry, but I didn't see any tears. She had on glasses, but with all the trying to sound like she was crying that she was doing, she never moved her glasses to wipe any tears. I noticed that. I'm not saying that she wasn't upset or hurt in any way, shape, or form, but it did. I could be wrong. It did, in my opinion, seem like she was kind of trying to force cry for the cameras. And I'm wondering if other people in the comments on the news report seen this and picked up on that too, and that contributed to the overall lack of any sort of just sympathy for them. Like, the comments can be brutal sometimes, y'all. If you look in the comment section on some of these different videos, people can be mean and nasty. They go in these comment sections and they will say all types of stuff that they would never say in real life. They would just never say this stuff. People become very brave, very mean online behind the safety of their camera. So they were in them comments, they were really coming for not as much the young man, not as much the family as they were the young man. They just, all of the highest comments, highest thumbed up comments, were all basically saying the same thing, that spitting on somebody is nasty work and you get what you get or whatever. So I'm just gonna reiterate, y'all be careful out there. Be nice to people, be kind to people. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. It doesn't cost you any money to just treat people the way that you would want to be treated. And if you're on holiday, on vacation, that place, that Atlantis, it looked nice. I don't know if I would ever be interested in staying there, but I'm not opposed to it. I don't believe that my experience there would be the same as his experience there, because I know how to act when I go out and about. I don't be having nearly the same negative experiences that many other people do, because I just don't go out there with a chip on my shoulder. I've traveled from various different states. I've not been out of the country yet. Got a passport, but I ain't been out of the country yet. I guess that'll be the true test, right? But still, I know how to behave when I'm out and about. Like, you learn the rules, you learn the culture, and you move within that. The same thing applies when you're going from state to state. There's cultural differences when you're in one state versus in another one, and you just be respectful. It doesn't cost you anything. So I see people day to day just out and about. It's like they have a chip on their shoulder and they attract negative encounters. I don't have that, man. I have pleasant encounters every damn day, because that's just the energy that I put out there. So be careful, y'all. Go out there, have a good time, behave. Under no circumstances do you just outright disrespect people and do things as silly as spitting on them. That is wild. I don't know what would compel that young man to do that. We don't know if it's related to that, honestly. Let me just add that. But I can't help but wonder. I'm gonna leave it there though, y'all. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.